Tamrat ki jai. Shri Nectar of Devotion ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. Looks like everybody has not yet come. Okay, we can't wait. We have to continue with our program. Everybody's okay? All of you are doing well?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, all of you are doing well?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. And today we are discussing three different topics. So first is our topic on the question that I had asked, and all of you had answered. That's the first point. The second point is about the devotees who had come with us for Braj Bhumi, Vrindavan Dham, their final days, remembrances, and memories. And third is for all the devotees, if they want to share anything, and from this, they would like to speak their points and their realizations. Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone. We have had, yeah. So, um, can we just read the purport? Pradevaru, can I, if I ask you, can you share the, Sanjay Babu, can you share the screen, please? If
Yes,
make you
Prabhu.
co-host there,
Yeah.
and that verse 10, 14.
14. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll just open it, Prabhu.
yeah.
I'm just sending the request, Prabhu, to so I can.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, your co-host now.
Yes.
It's just a bit larger screen, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. All right.
Zoom in a couple more, please.
I'm just looking, Prabhu, where I can. It would be.
How to do?
Yes. No.
Prabhuji, you can click Control and plus button. It will help us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Control and plus. Yes, plus.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, Prabhu. Would you like to read this verse, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. I hope I'm audible, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, so much for
Yes.
again, it's for arranging this program.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Please. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Sarvam etadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidu devana danavaha.
Synonyms now.
Synonyms and translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Ki Jai.
Sarvam, all. Etat, these. Ritam, truths. Manye, except. Yat, which. Mam, unto me. Vadasi, you tell. Keshava, O Krishna. Na, never. He, certainly. Te, your. Bhagavan, O personality of Godhead. Vyaktim, revelation. Viduhu can know. Deva, the demigods. Na, nor. Danavaha, the demons. All these truths except which unto me you tell, O Krishna, never, certainly, your, O personality of Godhead, revelation, can know the demigods nor the demons. Translation. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the gods nor demons, O Lord, know thy personality. Purport. Arjuna herein confirms that persons of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not even known by the demigods. So, what to speak of the so called scholars of this modern world? By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood that the supreme truth is Krishna and that he is the perfect one. One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He received the authority of Bhagavad Gita. As described in the fourth chapter, the Parampara system of disciplic succession for the understanding of Bhagavad Gita was lost. And therefore, Krishna re-established that disciplic succession with Arjuna because he considered Arjuna his intimate friend and a great devotee. Therefore, as stated in our introduction to Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the Parampara system. When the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was again selected to rejuvenate it. The acceptance of Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And then only can we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Just keep the purport, please. So here, Srila Prabhupada are stating that Bhagavad Gita has to be understood as per the Parampara system. Because with modern philosophers and people who are faithless, they cannot understand Krishna. And Prabhupada gives the example that the Parampara system was broken on the fourth chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. So and verse 1, Sun God, Krishna had spoken to him 40 million years ago. That was broken. So Arjuna was selected to speak the same knowledge. He asked the questions and Krishna answered. And through Arjuna, Krishna gives this knowledge to the entire earth. And Srila Prabhupada, we follow Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada says that Bhagavad Gita should be understood. Therefore, as stated in the introduction of Gita Upanishad by Prabhupada, Prabhupada says that Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the Parampara system. If one is not in Parampara, one cannot read and speculate on his own. Or one cannot write Bhagavad Gita on his own. So if a person is translating Bhagavad Gita, writing the purport of Bhagavad Gita on his or her own, and those people who read it, that person has started his own parampara. And that may not be bona fide, because again, we understand that parampara has to be bona fide. And we follow the parampara coming from Lord Brahma. So here, when Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita has to be understood from parampara or disciplic succession, but Arjuna is not in our disciplic succession. So people who have got limited understanding of bhakti yoga or even understanding the scriptural rules and regulations, and with lack of knowledge they become very rigid. So they say, how can I follow Arjuna? Arjuna is not in my parampara, so I'll not listen to him. I'll close my ears. You see, this is how people will normally react. I will not listen. He's not in my parampara. So how did Prabhupada write here that we should understand Bhagavad Gita and Parampara, but follow Arjuna? Arjuna is not in a Parampara. So what do we do? That was the question that we raised. And we have discussed this question in the past many, many times. And the thing was that these are one of the few verses which becomes the foundation on which the questions were asked by the many disciples of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada answered the questions, and that is helping us today. So you see, they are much more qualified than us because they ask very intelligent questions, those disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They questioned Prabhupada at every nook and corner. We just read this verse translation, we're moving on to the next, and we moved on. We won't even realize such an important point is here. When we read it, we immediately realized, oh, this is a very important purport Prabhupada saying, very important point. So anyone who is not understanding the bona fide knowledge, who doesn't understand the disciplic succession, will become unnecessarily rigid. So here Prabhupada are saying we must follow Arjuna, but the question is raised that Arjuna Bhagavad Gita should be understood in disciplic succession. But Arjuna is not in our disciplic succession. What do? We do not go and follow Shankaracharya's disciplic succession or other disciplic succession of Sri Sampradaya and all that, do we? Or Sri Vallabh Sampradaya, do we? But here is the broad understanding that even Sri Sampradaya, who accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, conclusion is the same. So what is wrong in accepting the conclusion? So this broad understanding we want to have with us. This is how I understand. We cannot have just a narrow understanding that we are Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, so we will not listen to other Sampradaya. They are saying Krishna is God. Full stop. So it is much broader than our thinking. Prabhupada had a much broader vision. This is how I understand. You may dispute, no problem. Others may dispute, no problem. But it's not what we are going to preach. We are not going to distinguish between, of course, we follow Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Prabhupada, we are following that. But we are not going to reject other bona fide Sampradayas teachings, Vaishnava Sampradayas. Where conclusion is the same. Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead. We understand this point? This is very important. Do not be dogmatic. There is no reason to be dogmatic. We should have broad vision. With this vision will not be able to go. That doesn't mean we must read all their books and all those things. No. Even amongst the Vaishnava Sampradayas, each of them have got a little different understanding of Krishna. Like the not only the bhava in which the relationship in which we worship Krishna. Somebody worships Krishna as parental. Somebody worships Krishna as servant. We worship Krishna in conjugal love. We try to follow that way. There's a perfection, you see. So, but that does not mean we should not. It has happened in the past with Prabhupada's disciples that they fought among themselves. They say, no, arguing that, no. Yashoda Maya's loving devotional service was a little lower than the gopis. Gopi was superior. So Prabhupada rejected this immediately. So why are we discussing these things? Yashoda Maya is very great personality. We cannot even understand her. So why are we fighting about this, you see? So this is very deep philosophy. And we do not want any one of us who are following to have a dogmatic attitude and close our ears when others are speaking for the Sampradaya. As I said, that doesn't mean we must go actively looking for their lectures and their this thing, but no need for that. But we must have comparative knowledge. As long as the surrender is the same, answer is the same, the Krishna is Supreme Person of God, we must surrender to Him, we're done. Perfectly all right. Okay? So this is a broad understanding. All of you, now when the question was asked, all of you answered the question, which is wonderful. And everyone answered the question philosophically as per their capacity. which is also very wonderful. And all the answers were correct, also accurate, which is very wonderful. Yeah. Now here, fundamental point to be understood is given. So Prabhupada had given the reference of my lecture with Srila Gurudev's Extreme Callers Mercy. We had spoken about this point. And there are many letters of Prabhupada. When I came across many, we have saved it and we shared it. Letter to Dayananda, which all of you read from the lecture. Yeah, all of you read. That letter to Krishnananda, that letter to Dinesh. So they all are asking the same question about Arjuna. That how if Arjuna is not in our disciplic succession, then how can we listen to his conclusion? So Prabhupada says very clearly that I have already acknowledged, say in the letter of Dayananda. Maybe Dinesh, maybe we can share this. Krishnas, can you share this, please? Is it possible for you? Are you free to do so now?
Share the letter?
Hold on. Let me just, I'll share this with you and see if you can put it up. You can see the whole letter also is there. I'll just put this up in your, maybe you can put it on Word document and share it or something like this. Hold on. Because we've done it in the past. It's not unusual. See, I'll share it in a message. Yeah, so if you can copy and paste it and just share it, please, on the screen, it'll be wonderful. So, Nirupa, can you stop the screen share, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Bhadaram Krishnadas can share these points. We'll just touch upon these issues. That this becomes the fundamental part of understanding the disciplic succession. Yeah. But Prabhupada writes that to join a disciplic succession, you do not have to officially be initiated in the disciplic succession. Okay, this is very important. He's written this. So, if anybody says, no, to join disciplic succession, you must take initiation, they do not know what they're talking about. This is a fact. And we'll read this. This you have also read from Prabhupada writing this in the purport of this chapter. So they don't either they are not reading the scriptures properly, or else they have been dogmatized with their little understanding, small understanding. It is very clear. Those who are very experienced devotees, who study properly, who understand Siddhanta, they say, no problem. You accept the conclusion, that's fair enough. You can follow the disciplic succession. So similarly, if somebody says, that's why I told one of my friend, Jesus Christ, and I said, I accept Jesus Christ as Son of God. No problem. And his teachings. Prabhupada says, no, we accept Jesus' teachings. How can you say that? Can a Christian say we accept Krishna's teachings? Very rarely. This is the reason why. We can say, yes, we follow even Prophet Muhammad's teachings to that extent. God is to be worshipped. Allah is worshipped. Perfectly all right. But it's very hard for them to accept Krishna. This is the difference of broader vision. We may not be pure devotees, but to have broad vision, you really don't require pure devotion service. You require very simple and straightforward devotional service. Okay, now see, this is the letter, first letter, and I've highlighted certain points here. This is the letter first written to Dayananda. Now, all of you, many of you have written these references also. So please, if it is repeated, please bear with me. It's just so that this point can be raised again and we can share it for future generations if the programs continue. So here it is saying regarding parampara system, there is nothing to wonder for big gaps. But he asked the question, there are so many gaps, you see, between acharyas, which has been given in the Bhagavad Gita introduction. So there is nothing to wonder. Just like we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya, so we accept it from Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasdev, Vyasdev to Madhva, and between Vyasdev and Madhva there is a big gap. There's no mention who all are in between, you see. But it is sometimes said that Vyasadeva is still living. Okay. And Madhva was fortunate enough to meet him directly. In a similar way, we find that in the Bhagavad Gita, that the Gita was taught to the sun god some millions of years ago, but Krishna has mentioned only three names in this parampara system: Vivaswan, Manu, and Ikshvaku. Is it not so? Yes. So nobody asked that question to Krishna. Give us a whole list. See? And so these gaps do not hamper from understanding the parampara system. We have to pick up the prominent acharya and follow from him. There are many branches also from the parampara system, and it is not possible to record all the branches and sub-branches in the disciplic succession. Because so many of them are branches there. We just know about one, which is from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta to Prabhupada. There also we understand it is through Siksha, not by Diksha. Similarly, there are other Gaudiya Vaishnavas who from Bhakti Siddhanta is somebody else from Gaudiya Math. And there are other Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradayas who do not have Bhakti Siddhanta also. They may go through Jagannath Das Babaji, or through even Lord Nityananda Parivar, different there, completely different. But the conclusion is that of Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's fine. This is the difficulty. And whenever I talk to people, they say this is a difficulty. Either they demean us or we demean them. Okay, so we have to pick up from the authority of the Acharya in whatever Sampradaya we belong to. Okay. Many branches. And it is not possible to record all the branches and sub-branches in the discussion. We have to pick up from the authority of the Acharya in whatever Sampradaya we belong to. Hoping you all three are well. You are all three well. Please keep me informed. Letter to Dayananda, April 12, 1968. See, in 2 years' time, they asked this question. Such an intelligent question. Disciple was asked. Or Prabhupada starting ISKCON, 65, 66, 68. Then the next one, Krishna, go down, please. Is Prabhupada writing, say Narad was the spiritual master of Vyasadeva and Arjuna was Vyasadev's disciple. Now, how can you say that Arjuna is not Vyasadev's disciple? Not an initiated disciple, but there's some blood relation. So you may say we reject blood relationships. Is it not so? Just because my father is a good big guru, that doesn't mean I become a guru. We reject it. Is it not so? But here Prabhupada is saying, but there is a blood relationship. But that does not mean this is bona fide. You see, do not misunderstand these things and do not minimize it also. Although Prabhupada writes here that there is some blood relation, that does not justify that is an initiated disciple. Arjuna is not initiated disciple of Vyasadeva. But the conclusion is the same. This is to be understood. Okay. So, Narad was a spiritual master of Vyasadeva and Arjuna was Vyasadeva's disciple. Not as initiated disciple, but there was some blood relation between them. So, there is connection in this way. And it is not possible to list all such relationships in the short description given in the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Prabhupada questioned at that time too, by Bhagavad Gita as it is description in an introduction. Another point is also is that disciplic succession does not mean one has to be directly a disciple of a particular person. Clear cut. The conclusions which we have tried to explain in our Bhagavad Gita as it is the same as those conclusions of Arjuna. Arjuna accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we also accept the same truth under the disciplic succession of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Things equal to the same thing are equal to one another. This is an axiomatic truth. So there is no difference of opinion of understanding Krishna between ourselves and Arjuna. Another example is that of a tree has many branches, and you will find that one leaf here, another leaf there. But if you take this leaf and the other leaf and press them both, you will see that the taste is the same. The taste is the conclusion. So from the taste, you can understand that both leaves are from the same tree. This is letter to Kirtanananda, Jan 25, 1969. This was 1 year after that first question was raised. Yeah, simple. This particular letter has got too many, two important clarifications about Arjuna, disciple of Vyasadeva. So do not take it. Okay, blood relationship. But no, we reject blood relationship. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta specifically rejected this whole sampradaya by birth. So just because your father is a Goswami doesn't mean you are a Goswami, but they carry the Goswami designations. Prabhupada writes this in so many purports of Bhagavad and Bhagavad in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Okay. Now the last letter which we have shared there. Please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your letter dated October 21st, 1969, along with a contribution of $25. I have already acknowledged the receipt of your kind record. Regarding disciplic succession coming from Arjuna, disciplic succession does not always mean that one has to be initiated officially. Disciplic succession means to accept the disciplic conclusion. Same point is repeated again here. You don't have to be officially given initiation to join a sampradaya. Arjuna was a disciple of Krishna and Brahma was also a disciple of Krishna. Thus, there is no disagreement between the conclusions of Brahma and Arjuna. Vyasadeva is in the disciplic succession of Brahma. The teachings of Arjuna was recorded by Vyasadeva, verbatim. So according to the axiomatic truth, things equal to one thing are equal to each other. Things equal to one another are equal to each other. Excuse me. We are not exactly directly from Vyasadeva, but our Gurudev is a representative of Vyasadeva. See, here Prabhupada are saying this, that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta is a representative of Vyasadeva. That is his sentiment. And that is also a fact for us also. Yes, for us it's the same thing. But you cannot say that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada are Vyasadeva, but is a representative of Vyasadeva. We accept it. Every authority is a representative of Vyasadeva. Srila Prabhupada are also representative of Vyasadeva. So Prabhupada argument here is giving this importance that the teachings of what did I say that? So according to the examined things, we are not exactly directly from Vyasadeva, but our Gurudev is a representative of Vyasadeva. Because Vyasadeva and Arjuna are of equal status, being students of Krishna. Therefore, we are in the disciplic succession of Arjuna. Things equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Letter to Dinesh, October 31st, 1969, Dayton Heights. So here, Prabhupada are giving the example and argument that our Guru Maharaj is the representative of Vyasadeva. So we are in the disciplic succession of Vyasadeva. You see the importance here? For somebody who doesn't follow Prabhupada, they say, what is he talking about? How can he say, gives an example? The Srila Bhakti Siddhanta is a representative of Vyasadeva, so we are following Vyasadeva. We accept it because we're following Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's teaching. But you understand this point? This argument in the eyes of outsiders could be very, very weak. That because our Guru is a representative of Vyasadeva, so we are in the Vyasadeva Sampradaya. This is not acceptable to people who are not in the Sampradaya. They may ask many questions. But we know the authority of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada as a representative of Vyasadeva. And also Srila Prabhupada's authority to say, yes, my Guru is a representative of Vyasadeva, and I follow him, so we all follow him. Full stop. We understand these things? Okay, sir, I should stop this screenshot. Thank you. Thank you very much. So here we understand these points very clearly, that first, to join a sampradaya, you do not require to take official initiation in the sampradaya. Full stop. So that is the reason why we say that we follow by shiksha. By shiksha we are concluding. So by Bhagavad Vidhi is by shiksha. All Bhagavatam, all disciplic succession in the Srimad Bhagavatam is by Bhagavad Vidhi. It's called it's by shiksha. That's why it's called Bhagavad Vidhi. The word Bhagavad Vidhi is coming from Bhagavatam. Because every teachings of all the gurus, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, Sutta Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, no, uh, all of them is through shiksha. That's why it's called Bhagavad Vidhi. And Bhagavad Vidhi has got all the 9 processes of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. The Pancharatric Vidhi is only for the Archana worship. Yeah, not part of the 9 is already there in Bhagavad Vidhi. Archana Vidhi is also there. But you require this in a different way. Okay, so if anybody says that you require to take Diksha to be in a Sampradaya, they do not have full knowledge. This is the truth here. This is how I understand simply, very clearly. If understanding is different, no problem. You can have different understanding. Perfectly all right. But this is the Bhagavad Vidhi that we follow in our Hare Krishna weekend, where there is no formal Diksha given to anybody, will be given to anybody. No, there will be no formal Diksha. So if anybody asks, are you initiated? No, we are not initiated. Oh, you should be initiated. For what reason? Oh, for otherwise you're not in Sampradaya. You can answer the question. Look at this. What are you talking about? Oh, don't argue. Second argument, they say that, oh, you require some personal guru to answer your questions. If you have personal questions and all those things to go back, that's right. You require personal guru. That's what we do here also. We answer questions of people and we train you to answer questions of people. Same thing. But again, depending upon your level of understanding, you can take your disciples, followers. If you do not know, you can read Prabhupada's books, Guru Maharaj's books. And same thing is for those who give Diksha by Panchadaki Vidhi. They may call their Guru as pure devotees, but they may not have purity. So they will not reach there. At least here you're not in the trap of being initiated. So this is the point to be understood. One day you'll be very thankful that we have not made you into disciples. It's very easy for us to do so. Because tomorrow you may find somebody who's very qualified, highly qualified. And you know this person will take me back to Godhead. He says, become a disciple, you can immediately become the disciple. Because there's no discipleship here. If you take discipleship here, then you have to reject us and then take them. It's aparad all those in all the places. So we don't want to do such things. If you find somebody else, please go. But following this, you can immediately go, easily go, no problem. By this process. So this is the process. And so there are big fights going on everywhere about those ISKCON gurus and ISKCON non-gurus, and there are Ritviks and there are non-Ritviks. But who are saying Prabhupada said this? Prabhupada said, I have had personal interactions with many of those devotees who had been instructed by Prabhupada to say that this is how future initiations would take place. They have been silenced. Okay? And they are there. It'll come out eventually. But we have kept this very thoughtfully and very honestly to say we don't want to fall into this trap about initiation diksha. We don't want to give initiation diksha. You are free to do whatever you want to do. But remember one thing, anybody, you can go back to Godhead by this process itself. But if you accept by Panchadaki Vidhi or some other guru and whatever it is there, then you will have to go through that person. Unless you accept Guru Maharaj's teaching fully 100%, that is your business. Simple. So it's very open. No complications. This is the point to be very clearly understood for all. Many of you may not understand these implications, what I'm saying now. So these lectures will be recorded and kept in important file. So you can refer to this. No problem at all. And that's why we tell you to make decisions on your own. Okay? Simple. Okay? Now, does anyone have any questions on what we discussed so far, please? Feel free to ask. We have done this in the past many, many times. I'm just repeating the points, But these are the verses. What important point was, when we read the purport, we understood these are one of the purports which is the foundation for our Bhagavad point. This is the point. So you can give reference of the scripture or Prabhupada. That's why we said this. 10:14. There are many others also. When it will come, we'll show you. By Srila Gurudev Sri Prabhupada Sri Mercy. Yeah. So anyone has anything to say, any questions, please feel free. Then we can move to the next point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all the detailed explanations and so I have a couple of questions that I thought of when I was writing the answer.
Yes. Very good.
So, my first question, Prabhuji, like, it is a pretty long question, like a connected question. We were talking about the four bona fide Vaishnava Sampradaya. So my first question that immediately came to my mind, that are all the Sampradayas like eternal, like from the time immemorial, like Krishna giving knowledge and all that?
No. Sampradaya starts at the beginning of the creation.
So even if like they are from the beginning of the creation, so Krishna says to Arjuna that I gave the knowledge first to Vivaswan, the sun god. He gave it to Manu, and Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. And there is no mention of anyone else after Ikshvaku. And like we do not find any sampradaya named after Ikshvaku sampradaya or something like that. So they do not come under the four sampradayas that we have now. So I had the question that this is like a really big gap, and like not even a gap. Like we understand that from Vyasdev and Madhvacharya there is a big gap, but it is not broken. Like from Vyasdev we consider Madhvacharya because he might be the last prominent acharya at that time. Therefore we consider Madhvacharya, and then from all the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya comes. But after Ikshvaku there is no personality. So therefore, Krishna says that Arjuna is chosen to regenerate all that. So I had this question that after Ikshvaku, we do not find Ikshvaku, Manu, and Vivaswan in any of the four sampradayas. I had this question for you.
See, Manu also dies. There are 14 Manu in one day of Brahma. Do you understand this? So we are in the 8th Manu living in the day of Brahma. We've discussed this point. So you'll see now you'll put things into perspective. So this is where in the current Manu we are alive. Previous Manu also had Sampradaya. These are all born to Sampradayas. Yeah, you understand these points? And we are in the 31st cycle of this Manus. Yeah. And they live for 71 cycles, Yuga cycles. And with each Manu, there are also Saptarishis. They live and they die with it. That is why you see that the same sages are there in Lord Ram's appearance, Lord Ram's pastimes, Krishna's pastime also after 2 million millions of years, same are there. And before that also they were existing. So disciplic succession, you will not be able to find out like this. One here, one there, because there are millions and millions and millions of lifetimes of years. One Yuga cycle is so many, 432,000 times 10 is one Yuga cycle. Yeah. So you will not be able to do so. So Ikshvaku is from which sampradaya after that, Manu, what sampradaya is there, and what is our sampradaya, you will not be able to understand this. So that's why when I say that we follow Prabhupada, but again, to follow Prabhupada also, you require someone's authority. This is a secret. It's a very hard, not secret. You need somebody's vision to accept if Prabhupada are also absolutely right. Otherwise, you'll find many discrepancies people talk about with Prabhupada also, which we don't see, but you will see as you grow. That is why we fall in the mood of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. You understand this point. Otherwise, with your limited brain, you are studying what has been taught to you, correct? In the book of Prabhupada. But at the same time, there are so many other controversial points which Prabhupada are saying, which will not be palatable to you and me. So what do? Reject all the teachings of Prabhupada if we don't agree with one point? And what is the value of our one point agreeable to Prabhupada? His vision is very different to our vision. You understand the points here? So that is the reason why even to accept an acharya, you require some guidance to say, I'll follow this. So that's why I follow Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj and you follow me. This is called disciple succession. And how do I follow? Because I've seen how Maharaj has gone back to Godhead. We're present there. And we showed those videos also to people. This is how I went back to Godhead. This is how I can follow. Full stop. So you will not be able to go through like this. When we had this gap in this 200, 300 after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also there's such a big gap in between our acharyas, 100 years, 200 years gap, 50 years, 60 years, 2 years, 2 lifetimes after one of them was born. In the name which has been written, they've got 100 years afterwards. So they've not met at all, not possible to meet, but still given as actually. So we should have a very clear understanding of these to say, yes, it's not, but by conclusion, we accept it. You understand this point? So how Sun God accepted Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Arjuna accepted here. So he accepted that. He told the same thing to his son, who told the same thing to his son. And the same thing we're accepting now after so many millions of years. We accept the same thing. So it is concluded. It's very difficult for me to explain this point, but am I able to articulate my thoughts?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So you will not be able to argue with people who don't have this knowledge, you see? Okay, yes, you are saying something.
It's a bit like confusing, I think, because of my level of because I'm like new to it. I also had this one question that we say that Krishna gave knowledge to those four personalities, and those first four personalities from those the parampara started. So is it like Krishna gave them the knowledge because Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga, and
No,
like
no, no. Not, don't talk about Yuga here. We talk about creation. Brahma's one day had 14 Manus. One day. So Brahma's 1 month will have how many? 14 times 30. How many Manus? Each Manu lives for 71 Yuga cycles. Prabhuji. And there is night of Brahma also, in which partial annihilation takes place. Of course, there is no Manus there, but so one day 14 Manus. 1 month times 30. 1 year times 12 times 100 years. That is the number of Manus coming and going. Do not be caught up with this one Dwapar Yuga and all those things. Because in the previous Yuga cycle, Mahaprabhu never appeared. Mahaprabhu doesn't appear in every Yuga cycle. Krishna also doesn't appear in every Yuga cycle. So that's why we say we are so fortunate that Krishna showed his very, very intimate, where he lives in Golok Vrindavan, how he lives there, he showed here in Vrindavan. And then we had Mahaprabhu who came to give us further understanding when people are losing their house. In 5,000 years, they lost it. So he brought it back. And then we had Srila Prabhupada coming. So fortunate we are. Do you understand this point? I cut your question half, but did I understand your question correctly and then answer the question also?
Yes,
It's not that I shot in the dark. I understood what your question was. Yeah, my understanding was correct. No question, your question.
yes.
And I anticipated gave it answer. My answer correct to you for your question.
Thank
Very good. But good questions. Any other points for you?
Yes, Prabhu. So, in Vrindavan, I asked you this one question, and you said that Vyasadeva is the source of all sampradayas. Uh, like by even impersonalists, Mayavadis, they consider Vyasadeva as an authority. Right? So, but we do not find in other sampradayas this with succession, they might not consider Srila Vyasadeva in that sampradaya because I have not heard in uh, like in Vallabh Sampradaya, they consider Srila Vyasadeva as the part of their sampradaya. They consider him authoritative, but not a part of their sampradaya.
Yes. So same thing. As I said, all sampradayas come from Vyasadev's teachings. Vedas he wrote. Interpretations may be different. We are set of interpretation of Krishna as a person. Vallabh Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, all of them. Krishna as a person. Then there are those who say Krishna is not a person. Same Vyasadev's teachings, they put in a different way. Mayavad Sampradaya.
So, Prabhuji, is it possible that the conclusions of the four Vaishnava Sampradayas differ from each other?
The conclusion of Krishna as Supreme is the Supreme, doesn't change. But in between there are changes. That's why we say ours is Achinta Bheda Ved Tattva is a very specialized. Simply there is a Vashishta Sampradaya, there is Sri Sampradaya has got a particular way in understanding Krishna. Vishesharu. The understanding is there, Krishna is Supreme, but in a particular way. Mara Sampradaya is different, that Krishna is different, Jiva is different. But they are in all our relevance, opulence. So this time when I went to India, I had a discussion with Mother Sampradaya disciple also. And I could tell him that from what point in time did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the mood of Mother Sampradaya, but this is not the mood of Mother Sampradaya, how we are worshipping Krishna. Mother Sampradaya, they worship Krishna in a very different way. But there are certain authorities who Mahaprabhu took Diksha from. They accepted like this. They were the only ones which started. And Mahaprabhu expanded that of loving Krishna personally there. And then he gave to everybody. In Sri Sampradaya, there was given a Diksha mantra. He said, why are you giving me? It is a very private mantra. He said, private mantra, why private mantra? So it's very important mantra. Why? It can take you back to Godhead, liberate anybody. He said, Hare, if it can liberate anybody, why are you giving it to me alone? We should give to everybody. So he gave to everybody. He said, why are you keeping it secret when this Diksha mantra? You see, this is the Acharya's thinking, non-sectarian. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, the conclusions are might be a bit different. Like they might worship Krishna in awe and reverence, and the mood might be different. That we have conjugal love and love and separation. So, if the conclusions are same, if we consider the conclusions are same, where do we draw the line that we do not go to other sampradayas and read their books and get involved there?
Yeah, that's why I said, don't read it. If you once you read Prabhupada's books, first of all, finish that books first, all the books. Then you think about what our other Acharya's books you must finish. Your lifetime will be less to study Prabhupada's books. And other Acharya's books also, very less. And I'm telling you, even amongst our Acharyas, there are different conclusions of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, also there are different conclusions. So that's why we have to follow. We follow A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Why we follow him? Because Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. Why Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj? Because I've seen Maharaj going back to God in a particular way. You see? That's why we say open your eyes. It's not that simple. You close your eyes, go one way, so you're gone. No, no. You have to keep your eyes open. Anywhere you can be cheated at any point in time. And your mind will cheat us only, first thing. So we require very important, our own intelligence has to be very nicely situated. And independently thoughtful we should be. If you are going to go with the crowd, there's a good chance you'll be misled. In Kali Yuga, falsity has more followers than truth. That doesn't mean all that has got more followers are false. I'm not saying that. But that discrimination you have to have. So the foundation of books, scriptures, through who has written the books, that is important. In Sampradaya, each book is written differently. You understand it? So it's so complex, you see. That is the reason why when you use intelligence, you cannot blame anybody else. So it's childish. Otherwise, without this understanding, it is childish. You're like a small child drowning in the water. You don't know how to swim. And what we're doing is giving you the swimming techniques. How to swim. Now up to you what you want to do. But you can go back to God and following this process. No problem. Use intelligence. If not, you can do whatever you want to do. No problem. Is that okay?
One last question I have to be so for taking over from the time. One last question that we were talking about initiation just few minutes ago. So, is it okay if we, like, if someone asks us, we tell them that we are initiated by Bhagavad Gita. So, is
You
that
can
a
say that
correct?
they don't understand. Bhagavad Gita doesn't require initiation. You are already initiated. That is true. It's up to you. Knowledge is given. If you follow properly, you are already in the line. Sampradaya. So this thing about initiation, this is a folly. It's a falsity. Total folly. If you want to do this way, it's up to you. But if you want to do it, no problem. You can do whatever you want to do. Because if you say that, Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? What is this? All these arguments will start. This you can say, if somebody asks you, are you initiated? No, I'm not initiated. Oh, otherwise you're not doing session. Sorry, what are you talking about? No, I'm in a session. Thank you very much. Read Purport 10.14. Full stop. But if you Bhagavad Gita, they say, no, you are not ISKCON, you are Ritvik, you are this, you are Gaudiya, you are all these things will start. Immature people, you're dealing with immature people. Mature people say, yes, I'm initiated, Bhagavad Gita. So you can say whatever you want to say, no problem. But I made the position very clear, our position, that we do not give initiation to anyone. But you already initiated, if you are in the Sampradaya. That much we have done. You understand this point?
This thing actually happened to like during our grandmother's time when they were taking us. So, as you mentioned, that I asked them to put a tilak on her head, like the
Yeah.
same tilak that on Gaudiya Vaishnava. So there was one of our relatives. She asked me that you cannot do that. Is she initiated? Like na diksha ली है. So I said yes, she's initiated because I
Yeah, no problem.
understood that she's from
No
like
problem.
she's attending Avinash classes. She is accepted Hare Krishna Mahamanta and she's totally convinced with it. So she's already initiated and in the Sampradaya. Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada were the only personality that were there at that time with us. So
Yes,
I did
yes.
not.
I know this. That's why I did not object at the time. When you said this, that's why I did not object at the time. No problem. It's already there. It's your vishwas of the follower that is important, not the process that is important. The mercy is flowing. Up to you how to take it.
So
And
Prabhuji,
who said this? Did the Purohit Pandya say this or some other person said it?
no, one of our relatives, she follows Vallabh Sampradaya.
Yeah, fine. But what is the authority in asking her this question? Then what is the value of that? If you wear tilak particular way, yeah, why? Only when the disciples are you can take. No, no way. Sorry, not okay. My aunt passed away. I told mother, you can't do this tilak, just put tilak here of this. She did it. She was no way connected with this, but she was my mother, my aunt, and she knew me. I was in Hare Krishna, So I said, no problem. And while leaving the body, she said, Nam, Ram, hey Ram. And she closed her eyes. Imagine this. So powerful. Why is she not? This is why I'm saying that Krishna's devotees are so powerful, the Guru Maharaj, that Krishna is very obliged to those devotees. That anyone who is attached to those devotees, Krishna has to take care of that also. And those who are attached to the devotees, he is obliged, he is merciful to them also. He's not obliged to anybody, but he's merciful to them also. This is the devotion. No, I'm sorry. Krishna is never obliged to anybody. But what I mean to say is this, out of love he does that. It is true. Devotees who spends pass away in the good timing. My father left body in good time. My mother-in-law, good, good timing. So many devotees pass away like this. Sita Prabhu's mother, father, you know, good days, powerful days, not ordinary. So it's pretty there. It's up to you entirely. Those who say these things, you're already there. Yeah, that's right. Full stop. Argument stopped. Are we rejecting anything? I said, no, she's not in Sampada. Did I say like this? She accepted our principles. She accepted Guru Maharaj Prabhupada. So that's it. Full stop. Now you're chanting Lord Nashikadev prayers, Kavach on our instructions, our requests only. You asked us, we said yes, do it. Simple. You pray to Guru Maharaj Prabhupada now. Simple. This is how it is. Okay? Is that okay, Prabhuji?
It depends upon the personality, like ourselves also. Right? So if Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada have accepted it, then no one else can come and say that cannot do this. They have kindly accepted it, so no
Yeah,
one
no,
else
that's why I
can.
say, that's what I'm telling you. Say, I've not taken initiation. Problem solved. Why? I don't want to. Problem solved. Correct? But you're already there here, right? I said it to many people. No, I don't do this. But I do it. Why should I tell this person? I'm doing it, I don't do it. Why should I tell him what am I doing in the problem? Problem solved, right? Others say, why like this and why like that? I say, you don't understand. Those are clever, they say, you don't need to. Even now, even in the past, people say, oh, you don't need to take initiation. You're following this, you're already in the Sampradaya. Many people say like this also. But those are very clever and mature, they say this. Neophytes you are dealing with, they don't. Okay. Is it okay now? We move on now?
Thank you so much.
Okay, all the best. Hare Krishna. Anyone else wants to say anything before we conclude today's point, please? Jai. Okay, we conclude today's discussion on the point, the purport of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 14, where Arjuna is not in the disciplic succession of Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, but Prabhupada says this, that we should follow Bhagavad Gita in a Sampradaya succession, disciplic succession. But Arjuna is not in the disciplic succession. So how do we conclude this to, yeah? So that's how we took examples of Prabhupada, mentioning to Prabhupada's disciples and to disciples to all of us, and we understand our Bhagavad Gita description and how Bhagavad Gita you do not require formal initiation. It's up to you. But if we have kept everything open, we do not force anybody. You still want to take some diksha somewhere, please do so. Tomorrow, when you become big devotees, very mature, somebody will say, no, you require Siddha Pranali, you require this, that initiation. If you feel like taking, please take. Then you follow, go back to Godhead following them. Simple. You can't have one leg there, one leg here. It's very simple. Anybody would say like this. It's very simple. Okay. So we'll conclude today's discussion with this. Thank you very much. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please don't go away. Our second part will start now.